There you go.
Um, I'm Darrell. I'm a hunting guide endorsed by a number of different companies, Beretta, Orcus, stuff like that. Get a chance to travel around the country and take people hunting and like show them the whole experience. My wife and I started a nonprofit, Minority Outdoor Alliance, and like organizations like this, events like this, are like what we care the most about to support. And so all of that to say, thank you for having me here, McKay. Um, yes, ma'am, absolutely. It's all love out here. Everything is good. And my biggest thing about hunting, I want to not only teach you guys like what it is that I know and stuff that's useful for the outdoors, but also like overemphasize the joy aspect of it, right? Um, that's what it's about. You can know how to do something at a very high level and then at the same time still experience it really well. A lot of different views around the world. I talk to people black, white, blue, green, brown. I was talking to one dude about chukar hunting because we both like chukar these things out in Oregon. That I was talking about. Um, they come from the Himalayas, right? And I met a dude in Pakistan that hunts out there, and it like learning about their processes. There's a lot of similarities and stuff, right? And there's a lot of things that are not the same. So first off, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Darrell. Darrell, nice to meet you. We got a one-on-one, so yeah. I like this. I I'm all about it. Um, okay, and there we go. I'm all about it. So the first thing that I want to do is, first of all, I want to do a couple of things, not just the first. I want to get a bead on what you know, what you don't know, right? What your expectation of hunting is. Um, like I want to speak from your perspective. One thing that one thing that hunting has to be is, and this is something that I've always been trying to communicate, is your experience has to be dictated from your perspective, going in and what you get out of it, right? I'm an artist. I'm a visual artist. My whole thing is about painting, right, and drawing, and being able to express this beautiful thing that we have in the outdoors. Well, um, instead of teaching people and talking to people about you should do hunting like this, you should do it. It ain't never. And we as a culture, frankly, ain't never had to. We've always had to shape the hunting experience. Um, in the ways that made sense for us. I tell people, let's go real far back, right? Like Harriet Tubman. What you know about her? Nova Scotia, right? She started at Macon, Georgia. That's a long way. That's a long way, right? And I tell people, so the first thing, table that thought, right? Let me sidebar. If you are not practicing conservation, there's no sense in being hunting, right? Hunters are going to be your biggest conservationists, hunters and anglers, because once you get into it, you willingly say, hey, look, when I buy a box of shells, that money goes to, state, and it goes to Pittman Robertson, and I'll talk about that too. There's the legislative side of it that my wife and I deal with too. Um, but I say all that to say, you have to be a conservationist first, right? You're about the habitat, the landscape, we talk about all of that. So let's go back to Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman, I tell people, was one of the greatest conservationists. Because number one, let's just do the math and getting from Macon to Nova Scotia. Right. You gotta hunt. Because there ain't no grocery stores, no. Right? It ain't no grocery stores. I need you to be quiet. Right. I need you to make them kids be quiet. Right. And we need to move in silence, right? There are the herbal remedies to put a child to sleep, right? Like just the realities of dealing with that stuff, right? There are the environmental hurdles that they would have had to deal with. Well, to navigate that best, you got to know the landscape. Right. You got to know what you can eat. You got to know where you can be. You got to know what type of game, right, lives in what type of habitat. So and you're doing that all the way up. So let's take a sidebar. Knowing the habitat of game and going into the easiest thing. I'm gonna get back to the original point, but when people hunt, you got to remember today hunting is a leisurely thing. At the end of the day, if you ain't successful, go to Publix.
Right.
You can go to Publix. It's. So when we put ourselves into perspectives of like our ancestors and things like that, that is there because it reminds us how important it is to study the landscape. Anybody can go shoot something. Anybody can go do whatever. That doesn't take a lot, but what matters is your footprint on the landscape, um, consumption, right? So it's not about going and shooting up a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
I'll tell you one of my favorite ways of introducing people to hunting, especially the type of hunting that I do with bird dogs. The starter pistols that we used to use for track. Ray said, "Wow, I take that before I take any of these guns out." Yeah, because for me, the bigger picture is my dogs. The bigger picture is having these creatures. I hunt with English boys and English setters. They go and they find this da 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 da, and they'll stand there and wait on you to do that. Or I'm gonna wait on you to get there, and then you flush birds up and shoot them, stuff like that, right? Shoot with a small gauge because I want to make it that much harder on myself. That's a luxury to be able to do. Back in the day, like those people, they were trapping, right? They weren't shooting because ammo costs a whole lot. Trapping because if I got something sitting right here, I can do what I need to do from there.
Right.
And so with hunting, there are a lot of historical practices that were implemented um, throughout culture, right? Throughout black culture, that we've been able to not only learn and bring over from West Africa and stuff like that. When we got here, they needed us to cultivate South Carolina because we had those practices, right? Well, we took a lot of that stuff and molded it to be what we are. So, um, one of the things, and welcome you in good time, I'm gonna give y'all some resources before I start. So, these are 3 resources that I think are fantastic books. I put sticks in the pages that I'm at. Just at some point, if you want to kind of look at what it is. But the reason I'm giving you guys is number one because I talk too much and I will forget to do it later. But the main important part is each of these books tells something unique about the hunting experience that is not only educational and constructive, but it's much more relative. So the first book is Nature Swagger, Restores the Vision in Black Joy in the Outdoors by Rue Mapp. Rue is a mentor of mine. She started Outdoor Afro. She is the goat, right? Like, and what she does in this book is talk about being in the outdoors from multiple contemporary perspectives. Mine's obviously from the dog perspective, but others from swimming, from surfing, from fishing, from all of those things. The reason I think it's an important book for our time is because these perspectives were not documented and written down way back in the day. There ain't a whole lot that's been out there, right? That was kind of how I got my start in upland bird hunting because I was I'll show you that too. I was looking for my mentor, right? So the next, when we talk about being able to document this, Dr. Julia Brock, she's a professor at University of Alabama, a good friend of mine too. Um, I contributed part of African American history to this book, and so this is an academic resource for you. It talks about the timeline of hunting heritage in the South, right? So it's really good. It is, like I said, 100% factual, academically based, unbiased, all of that stuff. It is just the facts of the history of hunting in the South, right? And I was, like I said, blessed that a couple years ago, but it came out early this year. But was blessed to be able to finally take that journey and be able to like get our people some credit. You know what I'm saying, for what we've been doing instead of sitting in the back of a photo, right? The last book, well, not necessarily the last book. There's some others, but the last book is Hunters and Anglers Field Guide to Raising Hell by Ben Long. Ben is another friend of mine. Obviously, like I said, contributed from the bird dog perspective. But in this, they're not only stories in this book, but they all teach you how to hunt in one way or another. Super educational, really cool. And what I like about all of these books is the fact that it's not a how-to. So hunting is not, there's never a how-to manual in hunting. There are going to be 50-11 YouTube videos. There are general books, right? And a lot of that stuff I'm going to go over with y'all today. But the reality of it is how to hunt, that changes every time you get in the woods. Like,
So it's just depending.
and you just adapt to the circumstances, right? Once you got the basics, right? And I tell people, pick one game species to hunt. Your first season, pick one game species. There are so many other types of, there's so many types of creatures out there, right? Hunting can seem very, very overwhelming.
Yeah.
And what you don't want is to kind of get caught up in like the fog or like information overload. Because what should be as simple as I got a gun, I got a pair of pants, I got a shirt, I got some boots. And I'm gonna go through a gear list and all of that stuff, the things that I think are most important and least important. But as long as I got the fundamentals, the best part of also being a hunter is the state of Georgia and every other state in this country, there is some amount of free and public land for you to hunt. That does not mean it's gonna be easy. It's generally harder. But when I was coming in, I didn't get a hunt. I mean, I got Eric Morris and then Neil, my bird dog mentor. Eric was in the beginning, and then Neil came about a year later. But even in all of that, there's still, these guys didn't have private property, right? There wasn't any of that, and the properties they had access to, that was their access. People gonna be a little stingy about sharing that stuff, and rightfully so, right? People stingy about how to hunt, where to hunt, stuff like that. And I don't believe in that, but I understand it. But case in point, hunting when it starts to feel really overwhelming, make sure that you remember that like our ancestors did it with way less than what we got now, way less than what you got in that bag. You see what I'm saying? And so when it feels like it's up to here, just bring yourself back down to here. There's usually a very simple solution, or there's a very simple approach to doing it. There's a lot of components, but you can always simplify, right? So the state of Georgia alone has, I mean, from the mountains all the way down to south, down right there by Tallahassee, right? Like there, you can hunt so many different areas, right? The game species and the conditions are going to change as you move from north to south, right? Also, when you get into hunting, the conditions, like how you hunt is very much so based on conditions, right? Y'all have lived here long enough to know that it's very cold up in Blue Ridge, right? And it is summertime, 24/7 in South Georgia, all the time, right? And you kind of move with that, and the seasons move with that too. So Georgia, the best part about it is, for the most part, we got pretty good weather most of the time, right? Our conservation practices are on point, meaning prescribed fires and burning. So like, we are actually one of the states that gets studied a lot for how we burn, right? And so all of that to say, usually throughout the year, we have a longer season. Our seasons typically start, the earliest being small game in like late August, early September. That's hot, but you could do it. There are recommendations about hunting around that time. I'll talk about that too. And if I don't get into it, remind me to go over kind of when the best times to hunt certain game are.
Can we do that? Yeah.
You want to do that now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
If that's how it feels.
I will definitely do that. So look, the season is, if I think about all of the game species in Georgia in totality, right? The duration that you can hunt, and everything changes per month, right? But you have a window. If I said I want to hunt every last thing I could possibly shoot with a gun or a bow, right? You have until like late August until roughly the end of February. It's a long time. Now that changes, like I said, per season. I mean per species. So your earliest seasons are always going to be small game. So you can start hunting squirrel. You need to look into regulations because you got to be mindful. Georgia's regulation dates change. They're easy to understand, but you just need to know. Roughly, they're always in the general ballpark of itself, but
So small game is starting
small
in
game
August.
usually starts around August, September.
Okay.
Look into regulations to see that squirrel, that is rabbits, that is small game is technically considered rough grouse in North Georgia, but y'all ain't gonna be hunting that. It's a bird, and it's a native bird. It's another native game bird. They're mostly in the north of the country, right? Um, but they this big look like chickens. I finally shot my first one last year. But they live in like heavily wooded areas in the mountain kind of stuff like that. Y'all probably the likelihood of you chasing a rough grouse without a dog is slim to none.
Okay.
But it is a game species to do it, and there's not a whole lot of them in Georgia. They're hard. I've flushed two of them in my life. Small game for y'all is gonna be mostly rabbits and squirrel. People act like rabbits and squirrel is not good. When I tell you it's good, it is good.
I saw one on the way in.
Yeah, you can shoot them now. So
That's August.
you you can. That's about August. Like I said, check the regulations though, because it might be like August 28th or it might be September 1st. Just check. But what you don't want to do though with small game, although you can hunt it early, sure, wait till the heat till you start getting frost and stuff like that. Because what happens is with small game you get bot flies. Okay, yeah, and they are these weird looking thing. I took my buddy small game hunting earlier this season. Wanted to go out early. Okay, we shot a squirrel, fell out the tree, go pick it up, and it's a big old lump on it, right? They're these big flies that bury themselves into, furred game, deer, rabbits, and all of that when it's done, right? And of course they're a parasite just like anything else. When you see it, if you shoot it, just toss it. Just don't even eat it. Some people are not our people. Some people
Yeah.
move fast. I don't mess
I don't want to touch that.
with it. No. Just you see it, oh shoot, okay, and you'll notice something don't look right on it.
Right. Right.
And the animals don't act weird or nothing. They just have just like fleas or anything else. Also, fleas and ticks. When it's hot and stuff like that, you generally gonna pick up a furry animal that probably got fleas and ticks on it. So that's why I say, although you can hunt early, wait till it gets cold because all that stuff dies on those animals, and the animals that do have that stuff are typically dead by then. So everything that made it to the cold is fair game. That's gonna be your best way. And then also when it gets cold, it's easier to preserve your meat.
Yes.
When it's hot, you basically need to shoot it, get to it, open it up, get it off, and put it on ice as soon as you can.
Okay.
Yeah. So I tend to try to wait. So early season and that August, September, I usually spend that time scouting. Walk the woods, right? Spend that time learning more about where I want to hunt, right? You can scout online, which they're different. You can use Google Maps, right? And put on the satellite view and look for habitat there. So that way you ain't always got to drive somewhere. You find something interesting there, then drive to the spot. Go check it out, right? And that's based on all the habitat things that you'll have to learn about the types of game, right? So generally early season, just wait. Use 2 months to scout. About October is when you want to start looking around. I was a part of Atlanta Track Club. So about October, November, you're gonna start seeing deer start moving, and it's not quite the time, but about like early November, you'll start getting into deer season. And somewhere in between their hogs and stuff like that will open up too. Okay. Yeah, that'll generally open up. People love shooting hogs, and I don't. The limits are real liberal because people want them gone. Hogs are terrible on the properties. They root up stuff. They root up a couple of hogs that root up acres in a night. They will damage property. They damage turkey beds, all kinds of stuff. Now
They're invasive too.
they're highly invasive, and no, they're not. I can't remember where they were, but they were brought in, I think, from Europe, and then they just populated. But they are a problem. Yeah, you can't shoot hogs fast enough. Now, there are always ways to cook stuff. When you want to cook hog, you generally want to eat the female. The males, I mean, there's always a way to cook something right? But the males, you should expect it to be a little bit tougher, right? They're exerting all them pheromones, and they're big, they're big. Each of these types of game are also going to require different firearms. That's another conversation we'll get into as well. But there are also different ways to do it. So with hog, just kind of be mindful. It kind of falls right around that deer, around that time. Like I said, the limits are liberal. Now, if you want to get on private land, find somebody that got a hog problem. They will beg you to come and shoot them things. Okay. Now that's an easy way in, and I want to talk about that too. When you guys are throughout your hunting tenure and process, it's gonna be a lot of public stuff. That's what I did early on because I could get there, ain't no red tape. I gotta ask.
They gave us like 12:45.
12:45. Okay, great. So I'm trying to record my audio, but
Did you bring your camera?
Yeah, I got it. I just had to. I had to do that.
So wore that shirt.
Huh? Oh, this one?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a fantastic shirt.
I got like 5 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
You bitter Southern person?
Oh, all day.
Oh.
Yeah.
We talk.
Okay.
So, what you want to do is look at it. So the different types of game is what you're looking for. 16 gauge is after a 20. You don't really find that very often, but a 16 gauge is fairly specialty, right? Then you've got a 28 gauge, and that's what I'm gonna show you too. That's what I start to hunt with. It's smaller gauge, costs a little more money, but it makes it way more challenging to hunt. It's actually really fun, right? And you got a 410, and that's the smallest you can get. That's primarily. So that's my 12. This one is, and I'm gonna show you different types of shotguns too. So this is a side-by-side. So you got different types of shotguns. You've got semi-automatics, right? Over-unders, which is what that is, where the barrels are over-under, right?
Oh.
Single shot, which is what that is, right? And then you've got side-by-sides, which is what I'm about to show y'all. That's what Elmer Fudd and everybody think about, right? Beautiful guns, though. I'm going to show you. And then within that, inside the barrel, so these things here, these things right here are different choke sizes. So depending on what you are shooting, you expand or decrease the choke. So like on the bottom barrel is the most open choke. It's a skeet choke in there. It's wide, right? My top barrel is a little bit tighter because I generally shoot something, and if I hit it within 30, 40 yards, great. But if it keep going and I miss, I got something I can stretch out a little bit for. So I keep it tight and it expands over time. So, and all of your shotguns are gonna have all of that stuff in it. Now, this is a side-by-side. This is my baby, one of them. No, I'm sorry. This wrong case. Sorry. Open that back up for me.
Okay.
Sorry. No, I ain't got to that gun yet.
Yeah,
So,
you got favorites out of your whole
the two that I'm about to show you.
Okay.
These are the ones that I hunt with
So
primarily.
How many do you have?
These.
The answer is 1.
Oh, we have 10 right here.
Yeah, like, so this is when you start getting up in price. But when I tell you, like, this is when the heritage starts up. So the guns become
choke.
That's a skeet and improved cylinder.
Okay.
Yep. You'll see SK and then IC.
That's the type of. That's the size
That's
of
the
the
choke.
Okay.
Yeah, the size of the choke. So when you start talking about investments and stuff like this, you're talking about black heritage and all of that. Like, I want to get people to understand not only are you paying for a fantastic piece, but you're paying for artwork.
Damn, that's beautiful.
It is.
That is
It's a
actually beautiful.
$7,500 gun, but it's a
What's that
it's
wood?
it, you will have it. So that is a really it's a grade 1 walnut. Yeah, it's a grade 1, and they all that stuff comes in different gauges. So that's a 28 gauge, and the 410. So y'all see it. So the smallest shells. This is a 28 gauge shell here, and these are 410. So you see, 12 gauges are this a 4. So this goes into there, and this one goes in the other guns that I was showing the other
So
one.
these are this.
Those are 410, but you see how small they are.
Oh.
I
yeah.
shoot them for the challenge. Like, I don't shoot birds that often because I've shot so many. So if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna make it a challenge. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make it challenging for my dog. So now you've got that's a side by side, and then this is my other one over under. So this
So
is the
side by
end of the
side.
line
Next to each other.
for
What do you mean by challenging for your dogs, though?
smaller
them
shot
work.
size, faster birds, harder to hit,
Okay.
and so they really have to get them dialed in, pointed.
Use pointers.
English pointers, English setters. So matter of fact, I've got some photos. So like this here, we were hunting.
Tail.
This gun is actually in this photo, but we were hunting chucker in Oregon. I was so dang happy because the dogs did the work that it took to be able to get these birds. This was them flushing and stuff like that.
This thing is light.
Yeah. So this is my,
It's
that's
lighter.
my, this is the top end of all the guns that I have. About a $10,000 gun.
Oh wow.
But again, they're investments. I'm not saying the price just to be a
Prices.
present. It's when you shoot this, everybody that shot these guns have been like, oh, I get it. Like, okay, all right. But you work your way up to it, right? I went from that. You know what I'm saying? I went from this little old beat up, you know what I'm saying, gun to these. You work your way up to it.
So question,
Yeah.
when you said the over under, one of them,
Yeah,
one
it's
is going to be smaller and one comes out fat. What is
They're the same
what's
size.
the
So
distance?
it's
The distance.
yeah, it's distance.
Okay, so it's the same
Distance
thing?
and openness. It's the same for that. Yep.
What's the I missed they're not slugs.
Shot.
The distance. He
So
said
bird
the
shot.
It's bird shot 'em?
bottom
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Yep.
going to go further.
So
than
the
top.
bottom is
Okay.
more open and doesn't go as far. The top is tighter, which makes it go
So
further.
which one of these?
So I shoot on here right to left. So my right is going to be more open, and left is tighter. Some
So
people,
you shoot the more open one first.
yes, yes, because
It's
that
shorter.
generally whatever bird gets up is going to be closer. You know what I'm saying? When it just flushes, and then if you miss, you got a second shot. But you know, and then I mean, you get to the point you engraving and all of that stuff on it. I mean, it, you know, you can go down the rabbit hole as far as you really want to, right? You don't need all of that stuff. That doesn't make you successful. It just makes the experience cool, right? But the case in point, when we talk about heritage and like this stuff, my grandkids will have. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be able to pass it down to them. All of those parts in those guns, there are parts of it that are CNC, parts of it that are handmade, like somebody went in and did the work. And they should feel like when you throw it up to your shoulder, I mean, it feels like a glove. Like I've had a guy from Wales come over and shoot that gun, and he was like, oh. And over in Europe, they like big bores, 20 gauge, 12 gauge, 20 gauge and stuff, and they were like, what you doing shooting this little PB pew pew gun? And he shot it and was breaking clays like soon as it should just that's what you're paying for when you start to get these level up, you know, type pieces.
So what do you recommend? Those are
Last
bigger
thing, when you
for-
hand somebody a gun, just hand it to them open.
when
You
they-
good. I'm
when
just
you're a
letting you know.
woman, like those are a little bit bigger.
So, good question. So, a lot of companies make guns specifically fitted to women, and that is a new thing. Beretta does, Caesar Guerini does. A lot of companies do. The gun that I like the most out of them is called a Beretta Vittoria.
Victoria?
It's like Victoria, but it's spelled Vittoria.
Okay.
Do
Yeah.
you mind if I step in?
No, go. Please do. Use it. Handle it. But that gun. So what it is, the science has shown that like y'all have a different neck length than we do, and so the way that these guns are made, this part is slightly longer, right? And it's the weight is distributed differently. All of that stuff.
Right.
Now, out of the guns that we have, this is the one that my wife loves shooting. I mean, is the most successful with this one.
Is she taller?
She about your height. Yeah, and she just, it feels good when she shoots it. And so, yeah. And so when you put it right there and put your cheek on there, make sure that cheek, right there. And then pull his hand back just a little bit. That barrel will be hot if you ever shot it.
So right, okay.
Get you, yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Here. It's another one around here somewhere. That's too heavy. I was gonna give it again.
She can.
You don't have that. What, one bead sight on the front?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So the thing about the bead, it's there for decoration for me.
Okay.
Because with a shotgun, you're swinging. You're not aiming. It's there. People use it. I keep my eyes open.
Yeah.
And I lead birds.
I got you.
You know. So, but it's
shoot ski.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is. So it's the same concept.
I wish I had you last week because I teach defensive.
Really?
So everything we do is we're on. But I was like, when you're doing sport, there's difference with it
it's
because
instinct.
you're swaying and you're following a moving target.
Yep. Where do you do your teaching?
I got two places, one down in Jackson, and one in Fairburn.
Bro, I went to Landmark in Fairburn.
So this
right there, and I taught at Bear Creek.
So I know where you at. Yeah. So I go to right past it. My boy got a site called Greenwood.
I know Greenwood. Okay.
So you know Kevin?
I don't know him, but I've heard of the spot.
I'm teaching the water filtration class for shoot and learn.
Let me know, man.
Come on, please.
So,
come over there.
Let me know, but all of that stuff is different, right? So like, and some people like shooting side by side. Some people like shooting over. For me, it goes either way. It doesn't really matter. But some people, you got to try it, right? And so
it's a firearm. Yeah.
That's kind of what I want people to do. Like the next step of this is, all right, let's go. Let's get a gun in your hand, load it, right, and then shoot. And then the other thing about this too that y'all consider is, so like this, for example, you see that these two shells, one is longer than the other. You got different types of power. So this will give you more distance, right? Not so much distance, but it's a good shell to use. Certain guns, like the other, I got to show y'all one more. That's what I was like, there's another gun out here. So certain guns only take, the one I'm about to show you only takes this. It will only take that one. That gun will take this load. So it's like I have one gun that's so custom. Yeah, it will only take a 2-inch load, like a 2.5-inch load. But my main gun, that one takes like 3.5, stuff like that.
And that's birdshot. We're talking
yes,
about
birdshot. I'm gonna show y'all one more.
And,
So you say, what do you say? Shatters or rains? This is what you were talking about, like that slides.
Yes, I'm gonna open it up for you too. So this is so those guns that y'all are holding are Italian. This is a Spanish-made gun. This was my very first one.
Well, first one after that.
Bring that elbow down.
Yeah, after that one. Yeah, I had a few guns. This was my first I done made it gun. This one was made to me. It's side by side, but it was custom fit to me.
I like that.
What company did you go with?
Yeah, it's
What company did you go with to do that?
So I was doing a film, and AYA, this the company that made this, reached out to me and were like, hey, look, we can't pay you cash, we want to make you a gun. If you just use it in the film and stuff. So that film's online on YouTube. I'll give you all of that stuff. And then Beretta is my sponsor now. And so that's how I got all of it. Beautiful. They gave me as a gift. But this is another 410 Spanish. So the thing about that, even with guns, you've got like your classic wood and steel. And then as y'all look at these, you good. You turn. But as y'all look at these, it's called case coloring. And so you'll see the metal on it is darker. It's got like a cloudiness to it. You can check that out. And that's just an extra feature that they add and stuff like that. You can get your gun, and it's just sexy. It's just a sexy.
Why would they add that?
Sexy.
Okay.
Just.
When you walk up and they're like, oh man, that's sexy.
Yeah. I mean, most people say that about this one first, but then they see that like, oh, that was it. But that one ain't as much as this one. So, but I mean, it's They're also and then this one, unlike those, has double triggers on it. So this is a old, like, classic. This is a quail gun. Like, this is like quail hunting, old school, like horse, all of that stuff. And when you're here, it's boom, boom. You shoot it. I accidentally pulled both of them at the same time, and that was not fun. But you shoot one, keep one finger on the trigger, and 1, 2. Yeah, and it's the same thing. You can shoot alternate, but if you look, there's the engraving, the case coloring, and all of that. It's just got a cloudiness to it, and it's the artist, right? Like, it's the artist's way of adding that kind of flair. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you had it locked. I'm gonna hand it to him. I'm gonna reach it
I would
first.
just need someone to depart.
Okay.
Check it.
Right? But
And
then
then
I'm
hand
gonna
it off.
be able to shower.
Exactly. It move around.
And then
Oh, so this is a so if I do that, safe. I'm sorry, unsafe, safe. And this is the barrel selector. So I will move this. I appreciate you setting it back too. But so the way that this is, they're dots. All of them are set to the same thing. You can't see it on here, but they're all set to shoot bottom to top or right to left. This is bottom top. Switch that over, top bottom. Yeah. That's all. Some people like shooting that way. No, it's just how you want to shoot it. The traditional way is, and that's how I learned, was just bottom to top. It really doesn't matter. Whatever you like is just what you like. This one is right left. Oh, now it's left right. Yeah, now it's left right. Yeah. So, and I mean that's all. Some people like shooting from the top to bottom.
We can do that.
It is not enough of a deal to make us think about it, but it's just how I've always learned. So I just kept it like that and just did it like that. But what you're paying for with these things is not only the experience, but again, when you walk up to your clubs and stuff like that, again, now you see what I mean. Don't walk up with nothing tactical. You see what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't make sense. You want something that, and it ain't got to be this decked out either. You can get a $300 shotgun look like this, and it's definitely presentable and get the job done.
My 300 is probably minimum you can spend.
You should spend about. You can get away with 300. You can get a good Mossberg. You can get. There's a lot of guns that you don't have to go to a pawn shop for either. You can get them new. I say your first gun needs to be new.
Your first one needs to
Get it new.
Well,
Coming from somebody that did not do that, you got it now. So we in the game. Like, that's fine. Like, you're here now. Welcome to class. Like, thank you for showing up. But if you can, because brother, I had pawn shop guns. Like, I was going in $50. Great, here, and I did everything I needed to do. That one was given to me, and I spent $80 to fix it up. The cost of the device does not matter. If I can get a slingshot for $10 and shoot birds, I probably would. Like, that doesn't matter, and you should not be inhibited by the cost of something. But if I'm being honest, to get something that's quality that you're not going to be like in 6 months, damn, I really want something else. You can get into the game at about $300. You can get in the game about $300. It's not gonna have all this, but you don't need it. You just need something to kill birds. You get yourself a 20 gauge, not a 12. Get yourself a 20 gauge. You can do just about any type of hunting that you can. I had a 20 gauge silver pigeon. Yeah,
because mine.
Come on.
They're not hunting.
Okay. No, but it'd be a good conversation. Okay. Bring it. Yeah, like, it'd be a great conversation.
Be right back.
I'll get my gun too.
There you go. But can you hold that for me?
Why not?
For sure.
Yeah.
This is like,
but this is, so I'm gonna tell you, the 28 gauge is the most square and even shooting gun. This is the best shooting gun that I own. This one, it is like, for some odd reason, the 28, it's like a even. The pattern is even. And I seldom get cripples and stuff like that. I generally down it. Point that up though. Go up, just so we all safe. You good. So, and I just like them. So when I'm hunting, when I'm hunting, you until my dogs go on point,
Mhm.
you walking like this. You I don't care if you're here. I don't care if you're here. I don't care whatever the case. I don't care if you're here.
Mhm.
Right? It's open.
Yeah.
And I see it ain't nothing. That my biggest thing is safety. And I have had it to where I've had literally guns go off on my back. Like I've been walking and Buddy's trigger was real light and I wasn't paying attention and walking and stepped in a ditch and boom. And I was like, what? Like your ears ring. I'm good on that.
Yeah.
You know, when I'm hunting with people, I want a really good experience. I want to make sure everybody's safe and I don't need nobody wife cussing me out. And I don't need my wife cussing anybody else out because I done got shot. Like, let's all keep it safe. And so when I hunt, and even if I hunt with other types of guns, hey man, don't put no if it's an automatic, don't put no shells into that. Like, you'll have enough time to do what you need to do. With me, like, you have enough time to load your gun and do this and do that beforehand. Let's not play the radio. You know what I'm saying? That's just not my jam. I'm usually leery. So like this here, fantastic home defense gun. Fantastic.
If you going hunting with it.
Right. But if I pull up with this at the hunt club, people gonna be like, what's going on? But I want this in the house. This is way more effective than any of these will ever be.
So what is that one?
So it's a model of a Mossberg. My Mossberg is at home. This is something I usually keep in the car when I'm like moving, and I didn't have my AR with me because it's getting fixed. So this was my go-to, which is why I'm camping with it. Regular, it's a shotgun, like all these are shotguns because it's shot.
Right.
I keep slug in mine though, so I don't have anything that sprays. Everything I have is one just solid piece of lead, which is why I have my sights on it differently, because once it goes out, it's effective to, what's 70 feet? 15, 20 yards.
Yeah, that's like
so
it's like
22 yards, 23 yards,
something like that. Yeah.
So I, at my skill level, which I mean, when I say my skill level, I mean down here, know that I can hit that with a piece of slug standing right here. There's other people who can do this and they can go some distance because they know how to use the other. One in the tube, then I have my other ones that I keep in. It holds up to 6. So I'm constantly going back and forth when I shoot and have to charge it each time. The rest is just like he said. When I'm with my folk and we're training, we follow all the safety arm rules, like all of them at all times. I've been cussed out because I handed someone a loaded gun one time and he cussed me.
And you should expect that.
Yeah.
And deliver it back if somebody give you the wrong gun.
That's
Like,
why I was asking about that one that still had
the thing in it,
something
yeah. I ain't gonna hand you a loaded one, but yeah, I mean, and that's real though. Like,
and it's real.
And it take you one time to get cussed out by somebody,
and it was one of my boys, but he went in on me, and I mean afterwards,
we good.
We were good, but we don't do anything that's dangerous.
Yeah. And I tell you, the one that went off on my back. Oh, best believe my buddies got on me, bro. I didn't like the way you were holding that gun anyway. You know what I'm saying? And like, my bad.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nothing happened.
Right.
And it's just part of it. Everybody gonna get on your case about it. It's just part of the learning.
You're gonna learn.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's the good thing is most of the folk in our community. When I saw you pull up and pull these out, and I'm on a piece of the wilderness first aid class.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. He said hunting, and I didn't know it was going to be hunting. I was thinking tracking.
Yeah.
So when he said a hunting class, I'm thinking a tracking class.
I'm mad I'm gonna miss the scouting part.
So when I looked over and saw this, I was like, oh, because my boy, he got married. Well, after they had their first kid, his wife was like, you can't have no
Durrell.
And his dad had given him some of these.
Oh wow.
So he called me one day, and there was a table laid out, and he was like, here.
Yep.
Take them. Because wife said it's the guns or her. And so yeah, so and it was also a safety thing.
Yeah.
She said, I just don't feel comfortable. I don't care how safe you are, it might happen.
Right.
So he called me and I got him.
I feel
Boy,
like
you
the
got some
kids
gems.
should just know how to use it.
So
That's been my thing with my kids.
the other part
Instead of
is
scaring them away from it, just show them how to use
For me,
it.
beyond scaring them, too many video games got guns as toys.
Right.
Don't
Yeah.
teach children that guns are toys.
so
And see, my kids, they
This
already
is-
know. We
this
ain't
is
doing
it.
it.
Yeah.
like this is. I love when I'm teaching a class and somebody like him comes down and shows a different side of. The only reason black folk were allowed to have guns was because we could hunt.
Mm-hmm.
That was
That's
it.
right. That's right.
These didn't have the range that rifles had because I was looking down the barrels. They don't have rifle in these.
Mm-mm.
So we were allowed to keep them because they knew that
They're doing
from
it.
here to that tent, you can't hit me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Keep it.
And that's what that was.
And that's why black folk always had shotguns.
Right.
Oh, what you?
Oh, it's
Is that an
bench made.
infidel?
You know, it's a little bench made. You know,
Oh. Ooh.
they were sponsors for a little bit.
You know,
Just
bit.
I like it because it has the butterfly in it.
Yeah, they're a great company. So again, if you're gonna make the investment, that's a good one to invest in.
these.
Yeah.
So
What's the
I.
name of it?
Bench
This is
made
been,
knife
is this
company.
the infidel?
No, that is the auto something. Came out a couple of years ago.
Yeah. It also.
But they make a lot of different. I like the one with the goat head on it. The
So,
goat foot.
Yeah. The
See it? Yeah.
this is usually my go-to. The difference
Is that an infidel?
No, it's CRK.
CRK. Okay.
So this is my carry. I like that one because if I don't have the ability to open it, it has an assist.
Mm-hmm.
This one it is a folder. Also that back of it is a handle or an improvise if you need to.
Yep.
Those who don't know.
Never seen a knife like this.
And don't if you're gonna buy one, don't get a knockoff.
No. Spend the money.
Go ahead and
You
spend the
gotta
money.
You gotta get that one.
You gotta get that one.
Yeah.
The knockoff, the spring is gonna stop working. It's not gonna open when you need it to. It's gonna be some mess.
Yeah. If you're gonna spend money
If you're
on a
gonna spend
knife,
money,
just spend
spend money.
Yeah. If you're not, then get something cheap until you
Yeah.
can, but expect that it's not gonna have a real deal lifespan on it. So
See now for kids, let's reset the spring in the night.
Ain't Millie's birthday like sometime
Oh, I messed it up.
You messed it up.
Oh, wow.
I don't remember which day it is.
I can fix
I know
it.
her birthday.
yeah, you just push it up, push it back. It'll come back up.
I'm giving her a hard time.
You think giving me a hard
Whenever
time?
you grab a gun, grab it like you're gonna shoot it.
It's this week.
There you
go.
Mine is either 22nd or 27th.
There you go.
So you pull it all the way out, reset the spring, and then do it again.
That's also what you're paying for too. If you
That's
break
true.
it, you can fix
Because the
it.
one I broke, it's still broken.
And actually, I like.
Thank you, sir, brother.
I like the way it pops up like that. I was looking at knives and I was gonna purchase one, but I didn't know what to purchase.
So
Oh, I got you.
depends on what you're using them for.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, I've used it 5 times today,
Oh, really?
doing other stuff.
Yeah. Knives, you're not gonna use a whole lot of for like what you think you're gonna
Yeah.
use. It's gonna be a screwdriver most of the time.
It's a pry bar and a screwdriver. Now,
But the thing about it, as thin as this blade is, it ain't gonna break.
yeah.
It won't pop.
So in my crew, most of us have 2 knives. One is all the stuff we're gonna do. The other is things are bad and I need to get to get home.
Yep.
And I'm going to make it home. And you forced me to use something else to go home.
Yep.
I hate it for you.
And that's what it's gonna
And
be.
that's what it's gonna be.
That's what it is. So last thing about shot before I show you guys something. So this.
No, because as I was coming in, y'all were like, okay, well, we're taking a break. And so, yeah, so no.
Thank
you.
you. I'm trying not to drop it.
Oh,
So,
the
yeah. So this is what you're shooting.
Oh, wow. All that coming out at you at one
Yeah.
time?
Yeah, the same
And that's
thing.
what you're shooting.
Is that what we're talking about?
And then
so
in it,
signal group
there's a
chat,
little
I
thing.
thought-
In it, there's a little wad
I thought it was,
that
2 separate guns.
it's at the bottom. You can't really see. It's hard to see. But there. So what happens is let me flip it. That the striker in the gun. There's this thing here. It's got a needle to it. And it's going.
Puncture.
It's going. Boop. And there's some primer in there, and it's essentially going to make that primer explode. Poof, and all of that stuff will come out. Yes. And you can see Darrell. Yes, sir. Thank you. And you can actually see where you're shooting because the wad is going to come out eventually. And you can see the direction of your shot if you're looking close enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woodways, Everyone talks about shotguns. So when we're teaching shotgun classes, there is a myriad of things you can have, and we're doing all this 100% safely. This is shot that everyone always talks about. I don't talk about shot too much because I don't need to. But we got a brother here. And go ahead and rep it. A Southern,
Oh.
you know what it is. But this is black folk learning what black folk do, safely in community. That's all. That's all. Oh, and for everybody to talk about we don't train shotgun. We train shotgun.
We train shotgun. All kinds of
shotgun.
them.
All of them. Should've came. I told y'all to come. Should've came.
But yeah, I mean, it's it's everything.
Nah, it's once you cut it open,
It's done.
Show everybody